Okay, so folks, we want to say welcome. Thanks for joining us. This is Spoon TV and Nelson Collet, Ernest Bena behind camera. This is a special update, as always, here live from the grounds of the Liberian Senate. An update that comes up regularly following every sitting here at the level of the Liberian Senate. First of all, we want you to give us a feedback on the audio quality. Kindly let us know what the audio quality is like, as to whether it's something we can work with. We'd like you to please give us a feedback on the audio quality just before moving into this very quick update. You can let us know as to whether the audio is something good that we can work with. Well, today the Liberian Senate had the fifth day second special sitting here at the plenary of the Liberian Senate, and of course, a few of the items captured on the agenda were reports from different committees that should have reported to the plenary of the Liberian Senate today. As most of you who follow the previous updates may be aware, on the last session that was on Tuesday, most of the committees that should have made the reports or their findings based on the different investigations or tasks that were giving them thought to defer or push their reports to today, the sitting today, which is on Thursday. So those committees were expected to report, but unfortunately, a few of those committees were again not in the position to present the reports to the plenary of the Liberian Senate for debate and for further actions to be taken. So a few of the committees today were like the ad hoc committee that was set up to carry on this investigation in the relationship between the government of Liberia and Metec Scientific Liberia. Well, again, that committee headed by the uh, 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 Senator Amara Conant. The committee could not present her report today on grounds that all of the members of the committee are yet to affix their signatures to the report. Senator Conant did display a draft of what they've worked on so far, but according to him, they could not circulate the report today based on the fact that the different members of the committee, some of the committee members are yet to sign the report, and the report hasn't been circulated, which will lead to further debate or some actions from the plenary of the Liberian Senate. So that report from the ad hoc committee concerning the relationship between the government of Liberia and Metec Scientific Liberia was being deferred to Tuesday. So the next sitting on Tuesday, it is expected that the Liberian Senate will be discussing that report or debating the report, after which they will take some necessary actions. And then there was another report from the Joint Committee on Foreign Affairs, Judiciary, Human Rights, Claims and Petition, Ways, Means, Finance and Budget, an act to ratify the establishment of the International Renewable Energy. Senator Abraham Darius DeLone, who is the chair on Foreign Affairs Committee of the Liberian Senate, and Senator Augustine Chia, who happens to be the chair on Judiciary, both could not provide this report to the Liberian Senate today, after they appealed for further extension to today, that at least by today they would have been in the position to make available the report, since in fact they were given the task to carry on all the necessary findings regarding this particular issue. But again, this committee was unable, so that this item of the agenda here at the Liberian Senate today was being deferred. And then there was another item deferred from the joint committee comprising the Committee on Labor and Judiciary, Human Rights, Claims and Petition regarding the Firestone Workers Union complaints. Well, Senator Amara Kane, Senator Prince Moi, and all of those senators, again, they had the report ready. For this particular report, it was ready, but there was an issue with respect to the time when the report was circulated. Some of the senators in session today raised concerns that the report was not circulated in time. And as per the procedure, once the report is circulated, the senators, the lawmakers will have to go through the report, which will then prepare them for the debate. Then once the issue is introduced on the floor, then they can be able to debate from an informed standpoint. But due to the timing, according to some of them, though 25 members, 25 senators, as per the record in possession of the presiding, the pro tem today, 25 senators received copies of the report, but most of them argue that the report was not circulated in time, and so because of that, they were not in a better position to debate the issue today. So that particular report, again, was being deferred to next Tuesday, at which time the plenary of the Liberian Senate will be able to go into the report talking about the committee, the joint committee comprising labor, judiciary, human rights, claims and petitions regarding the Firestone workers union's complaint. All right, so the report was read, but the actual debate surrounding that particular report will be taking place on Tuesday. And then there were a few other things captured today on the agenda for today's sitting at this special sitting at the Liberian Senate. So there was a briefing. There should have been a briefing from the Modernization Committee, since in fact following the Basel retreat, one of the issues that was stressed by the pro tem was that this Liberian Senate was going to see a functional website, a place where anyone, anywhere in the world can go and be able to access some basic information with respect to the workings of the Liberian Senate, information that will be provided to the public as to what the Liberian Senate is about, what some of those basic information to be displayed. Those were all part of the modernization plan that was crafted following the Basel retreat. The chairman of that committee, the Modernization Committee, is Senator Yan D. Twine of Nimba County, the newest senator who was elected in the by-election. Well, the committee, again today, following an appeal for an extension, which should have been today for this particular report to be up, the chairman of the committee, Senator Yan D. Twine, pleaded for an extension based on some technical issues they're still working on. He needs additional information to be able to provide further information with respect to where they are on the Modernization Committee. Well, aside from that, there was the second reading for a bill for an act to amend the Liberian Consolidated Revenue Code. That was a communication from the office of the president. So there was a second reading for an establishment of additional townships in Nimba County. You talk about the township of Zwole, township of Lugbe, the township of Vonyagle, and other places. So the second reading was done today. First reading was last Tuesday. That bill for an act of the establishment of those townships were being presented by the two Nimba County senators, Senator Yan D. Twine and Senator Prince Yelugbe Johnson. So the both senators were present today in a session, and the second reading was done. And then finally was the appearance of the Public Works Minister. Well, it all comes from the backdrop that on the 3rd of September 2024, or on September 3, 2024, the Public Works Ministry was rating a communication to have the Public Works Minister appear on today, which is the 12th of September, to provide reason why there are deplorable roads across the country, and with specific reference or a major emphasis on the Freeport to St. Paul Bridge corridor, or the Vartown to St. Paul Bridge corridor, to know as to whether as to whether there are plans, what have been the status of the road, since in fact there were existing contracts even before this current public works minister ascended to that position. There were existing contracts to address that particular road corridors in terms of doing some overlays, patches to ensure that that particular corridor is pliable. So today the public works minister did appear for a public hearing. Members of the Liberian Senate were present, and the public works minister appeared along with a representative from the company to whom the contract was awarded, BMC, and they made a brief presentation. So a few things that the public works minister emphasized was that the contract is in the tune of 8.5 million. Of the 8.5 million, 3.8 million has already been disbursed to the contractor BMC, and that the remaining amount is 4.3 million. Now the 3.8 million was disbursed in February of 2023. So it was expected that from that time up to now that the contractor would have started some work along the corridor. And so he did say that there's some work going on along the corridor following the disbursement of the money. Well, during his presentation, talking about the representative of the BMC who says he's the project manager and an engineer as well, he did say that yes, he confirmed receipt of the money, the disbursement was made, the initial 3.8 million, but that in the midst of that, they've done some minor work along the road corridor, but they could not go any further based on the fact that we are in the rainy season. So the entire process in terms of implementing this project, after the 3.8 million has been disbursed of the 8.5 million, the project has been on a slow pace based on the rain situation. It has been raining, and since in fact a portion of the work has to do with asphalt, pavement, and some minor maintenance work along that corridor, a lot of things have been on the standstill. But in the midst of that, he said that a little work has been going on in terms of putting some crushed rocks along the corridor and making sure that the corridor is pliable. Now he spoke of there were concerns raised from the angle of some of the senators as to the timeline. What's the duration of this particular contract? Why hasn't been much done to ensure that the road is pliable in line with what the contract or the agreement is all about? And the BMC representative did say that the delay in the process, first of all, has been based on the rainy season. And then secondly, they had a time frame. The contract was signed in 2022, and the duration of the contract was 15 months. And based on the prevailing circumstances, there were times wherein, even working along with the Ministry of Public Works, there had to be some adjustments with respect to the time. So there was additional 12-month adjustment. But he did promise Liberians, he did say to the senators that effective as of October of next month, that's during the dry season, with a condition that is based on the weather situation, the company, that's BMC, will actually start the work within that corridors, making sure that the corridor is pliable. But in the absence of that, they are working, they're still working. He spoke of some work being done along the Jamaica Road, a response that most of the senators doubted, saying that they live along those corridors and they are yet to see the work that was being done there as claimed by the contractor, the BMC representative. But he maintained that they've been doing some work along the corridor, and it's just a matter of time. Once it's dry season, they will continue what they started along the corridor. Well, there were other. So that project takes off from the free port of Monrovia, extending to the St. Paul River, or that's the St. Paul River, or you said St. Paul Bridge. Now, aside from that, and this corridor, this particular corridor we're talking about, is 6.5 kilometers of road, they're going to do all of the necessary patches and make sure that the corridor is pliable. As to whether this is something that they're going to live up to, that is something that a lot of Liberians are looking forward to. Even some of the senators up to now are concerned, and they were pushed to ask some questions with respect to what exactly the process is going to be like in terms of disbursement, as to whether the contractor will need additional disbursement in order to continue this project. In fact, why hasn't there been significant work done despite the disbursement of the 3.8 million? Now, they also try to establish from the contractor, which they succeeded in doing, as to whether there needs to be additional disbursement before the work can be completed. But the contractor promised the senators that with the amount already disbursed, they are going to complete the corridor, they are going to complete the project before any additional money can be disbursed. So those were just a few updates we tried to bring you here. Another important thing here on the grounds of the Liberian Senate today was a mini protest by the Beach and Waterway Project workers. Well, they were here as early as 9:10 a.m. this morning, protesting, trying to claim the attention of members of the legislature, specifically the Liberian Senate, with respect to some of the constraints they've had over the time. Well, there were few concerns raised by the folks. The first one being that this particular budget, the 2024 national budget, captured $3 million USD for them, talking about the Beach and Waterway Project workers. But in the midst of what was being captured for them, they later realized that the money was being cut from $3 million to $2 million United States dollars. But beyond that, up to now, since the passage of the budget, about 5 months or so, they are yet to get they are paid for the rest of the months they've been working for. They complain that at the moment they are going through some serious constraints. Their kids are out of school, and they came here this morning to call the attention of the legislature to make some interventions in making sure that what was being captured in the budget get to go to them, especially with regards to the cut. Since, in fact, $3 million was captured, instead of the money being cut to $2 million, that it should remain at $3 million. And then that secondly, the salaries that is currently being owed by the government of Liberia can be paid to them so as to ensure that they continue the work they do. They are responsible for the cleaning of the beaches. They emphasize that the work they do significantly contributes to making sure that the beaches are clean, which will obviously attract investors to the country, given the facelift they're giving to those different places across the country. Well, the petition was received by a team that was being sent by the pro tem, Senator Yomli Kanga Lawrence, headed by the chairman on Rules, Order, and Administration, Senator Blebo Brown. He did receive the petition from the workers, assuring them that the Liberian Senate will get back to them in the soonest possible time. And then he turned the petition over to the chair on Youth and Sports, who happens to be Senator Johnny Pehe of Bon County, giving them some hope that the issue will be addressed and that they should disregard any form of protest on the grounds of the capital. Well, folks, those were just a few updates we thought to bring you. Thanks a lot for following Spoon TV. My name is Nelson Colette. Thanks to Ernest Benda for always being behind cameras and making sure that we bring you the visuals. Have a good day, and bye-bye for now.